I have covered Hasan on the channel quite a bit and the Ethan drama quite a bit because it's the main drama going on. And I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest. I'm a little annoyed. I'm done. But one of my favorite people to clown on, one of the mainstays early on my channel. I remember one of the first kind of commentary videos I made was on Idubbbz. I don't like him. I've never really liked Idubbbz. I thought the content cop thing was like okay, right? The content cop thing was okay, but he's not funny anymore. He's not entertaining. He's got nothing. And he's willing to sell anybody up the river to make himself look good. And I also think that I don't care what you say about that stream he did to make the money back for the charity. The fact that they mismanaged the money so bad that he had to do that just shows that like he doesn't know what he's doing, and they were just trying to look cool. They were like, "Oh, look, we're doing stuff for charity." You can't talk bad about it. Oh, I'm having drama with Froggy Fresh over nothing. But oh, let me make a quick Froggy Fresh video. It's the only advertising I've done for this whole event, and then just put like people up in high-end suites and stuff. And then, oh, where did all the money go? Well, it's gone. But yeah, we got Idubbbz back. Creator Crash 3 is coming up soon, which nobody cares about. Absolutely no one. The fight cards are like retarded. They're absolutely retarded. But then we got Idubbbz backstabs H3H3. And I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. Because, I mean, Ethan has stood up in defense of these two morons more times than anybody could believe. And I think that they kind of were in that same mindset, which I've criticized, where they were pulling the ladder up, where they were like, oh, we disavow all our old content. We hate our old audience. You guys all suck and you're stupid and you have my negative brain cells. And now they're wondering why they don't get the same viewership. But Ethan's kind of moving away from this weird left wing, like full hardcore left wing direction he was heading, kind of realizing these people are crazy. And that's what happens anytime. Even when you get these people to go like full far right, once you hit that extremism where you're listening to like Nick Fuentes or Hasan, you realize you should course correct immediately. But let's see what this backstabbing's all about.
There you go. This is for a very specific subset of people who are very upset in my DMs.
Yeah, so Ethan's upset with I think some of our connections, and you know, we've tried to reach out to Ethan to talk privately. Basically, it just seems like we're at a bit of an impasse. So we want to stay out of the.
By the way, why are we using like old socks? You know those socks that you use when you're like in middle school and you get all crusty because they were just a collection sock? Why did they cut those up and use them for mic arm covers?
As much as possible. We don't want to pile on and add to anything. So this is our, you know, lukewarm addressing of it. It's, you know, we're always open to.
I love how you can tell she's more annoyed than he is. This is how every time these two sit in a room, you got Idubbbz kind of downplaying stuff, trying to just be the I exist and I don't want to cause drama guy, and then Anise is over here just ready to cause problems.
Talk privately, especially, and yeah, we'll you know, the door's always open.
Yeah, the door is always open. I want to, like, really drive it home. We don't condone harassment of any kind.
This is absolutely pathetic in every possible way, and we're gonna have to talk about it. Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is
Bro
Sean.
came in so hard, dude. He busted the door in and just started spraying his meat stick like a fire hydrant. Dear God.
And in a recent video, we talked about how the escalation from people in Jank's Nephew's fan base, in the streamer Denim's fan base, and a bunch of other online creators against Ethan Klein has gotten to absurd degrees, in that they are now calling in fake child protective services claims in order to have Ethan investigated as well.
Yeah, this is such an easy thing for me. I've seen people like come in and like come after, like every time I make a video on this type of stuff, I get endless comments. Not endless, I mean, I'm not that big, but I get a decent amount of comments where it's like, oh well, genocide or destiny or whatever. It's always like some sort of straw man argument, and it's like, dude, how are you protecting these people that are legitimately doing some of the most scummy, worst things imaginable? Once you brought the kids into it, dude, outski, bro. I'm outski. There is no way I will ever be on the same level as you. There is no way I will ever look at Denims and think of her as a reliable talking head because of the fact that she downplayed the fact that CPS got called on his kids. That's just gross.
As trying to get him committed, and how Ethan has had absolutely enough. And you don't need to know all that much about the characters in today's video. This is Idubbbz and his wife Vanessa, other than the fact that they have been friends, and specifically Ian, Idubbbz, has been friends with Ethan for well over a decade, and throughout the course of them discussing this on their podcast, because they went through a reformation where they became woke as well, they have decided to backstab Ethan. Idubbbz has decided to call an end to...
Let's be real, though. Hold on. Every time I see this go woke as well, I mean, everyone in this little section is woke. Like, they're all leftists. These are all leftist creators. Ethan is still a very leftist creator. I think a lot of people are missing the fact that because he has problems with Hasan, that makes him not a leftist anymore. Dude's still wildly a leftist. He's still 100% is, like, full left. And it's so crazy to me that, he's calling out, like, the most popular left-wing streamer. That makes him not left-wing anymore. That's asinine, and it belittles his arguments and why his video was so good on Hasan is because he's coming at it from a leftist perspective of this guy's an extremist, which is the important part of it. And I think there's a lot of people that are scared because of the radical left, like streamers and stuff. A lot of the like normal left-wing people, and I would call, I guess, Idubbbz more progressively left. And you look at like some of these other people that might have been just more for free speech, just doing your own thing, saw this rising of like insane identity politics stuff we got going on, and they all of a sudden started like taking a backseat. Like, don't look at my back catalog because it's a little edgy and scary. I'm this guy now. Now I'm more virtuous than you. That's how I can make fun of you, is because I'm better and I'm more socially conscious than you, and you're a racist. Yeah, that's what they've kind of been building their stuff off of, which I think is gross. I'm always for free speech. Dang, Savannah's going hard. My daughter's just going hard in the other room. She's learned how to scream like a champ. Like, she just keeps doing it. It's like a new thing.
Harassment on all sides, not specifically condemn efforts of these people who are attacking Ethan and trying to get investigations launched into him in order to take his children away from him over a petty disagreement on politics. It's absolutely crazy from top to bottom, and we're gonna break it down. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
We don't condone...
That was mad cringe. And I also hate just this like whole thing where we put woke on everything. I think it's so dumb. Because it's lost all meaning behind like the original point, where it was like quit shoving like identity politics and bad writing into everything to highlight only the identity politics. That's when I originally started hearing about the woke stuff. It was like, oh, we need to be culturally relevant. We need to make sure everybody else is culturally relevant. And you started seeing in shows where you were getting lectured instead of it actually, like, you look at a movie like Dirty Dancing, right? A movie like Dirty Dancing where there is underlying plot point about abortion. It is there. It's a very pro-abortion movie. And then you get to like the end of the movie and you can watch the whole movie and forget about the whole abortion arc and still think it's a really good movie. Like, oh, look at all the dancing, the love story with Patrick Swayze. This is good. I had fun. It's not like beating you over the head with the messaging, right? But then you look at some of the stuff we're getting now where it'll stop the film to have a monologue telling you how much of a stupid fucking gay little retard you are, right? And I don't like that shit. I would rather you just build it into the narrative, and then I won't fucking critique it. I mean, that was my problem with, I bring it up all the time, Immortals of Avion, was because the game stopped you to lecture you. And I can't stop getting distracted by how annoyingly these fucking cum rag mic stand covers are. These are fucking disgusting looking. This is the most retarded looking setup I've ever seen.
Harassment.
We don't condone harassment of any kind.
Of any kind, okay, period. Which is why we have not stuck our foot in any of this, because it is not productive I don't think it's helpful.
So look, I gotta be perfectly honest with you guys out there in the audience. When I first saw the clips of Ian, Idubbbz, and his wife Anissa doing this, oh, we're not really gonna take a stand thing, Ethan probably has mental issues and whatnot, and we're not gonna back him up kind of deal, I thought that there had to be more context that proved that these people weren't as cowardly and as weak.
Well, and here's my thing too. Okay, we don't want to put, this is our friend, but we don't want to put a foot in the side here. He's coming off as unhinged. It's like, I'm sorry, you guys released this the day, like, it was like 2 days later you find out that they're like going after his kids and stuff. Like, I don't know the exact timeline, if this was right after or right before that came out. But the fact of the matter is, you're out here defending somebody who's like, you're not gonna defend your own friend. You know how hard fucking Ethan went in for Idubbbz on his little public image change run, where he was the first place that he came on a podcast and he started talking about how he was changed now and he wasn't gonna do the same type of content. And the guy that was like fucking like singing all his praises, that was Ethan Klein. And I criticized both of them at like I've talked in the past about how I thought both of these guys were pussies at that time, and how you could take your own audience and what you've cultivated because of your actions, and now they're the bad guys. How you villainize your audience, and I thought that was they were gross and stupid. But I'm not like I still understood that they're friends and they're doing what they're being like friends to each other. And now once one of them gets in drama, look at the other one, just send him up a creek. Oh, well, he's got mental problems. Well, he's got this. No, that's fucking like, dude, after the dude came out and has supported you time and time again, and you do this shit, nah, you're a pussy, bro.
As they were presented in the Twitter clips. So I went to the original.
Again, though, I do want to say the fact that they came out against harassment is really good, because that was more than Denims did. That was more than Denims did. Denims was just kind of downplayed the harassment, which is fucking disgusting. And I think one thing that if I were Hasan, right, and I saw this shit bubbling, even though we had beef, I would know at one time we were friends, and though we might have ideological differences, he was still my friends, and I would go out of my way and say, listen, we might have ideological differences, but I still want you to know that going after his kids is wrong and disgusting, and you guys should all take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror and realize you're a disgusting little fucking piece of shit. You guys are a bunch of fucking weird spurg retards, and you need to stop. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done personally. I just think that I don't care if we're in a beef or whatever. I think that you have to be the bigger man and not be not allow this shit, people from your audience to do this shit, because it's people from Denims and Hasan's audience that are doing this shit, and like Bad and Panada. These are the fucking guys that are running this entire fucking cabal against Ethan's like personal life, and it's gross, dude. You should never, once you see that there's been swatting, once you see that there's been stuff like the CPS thing, I feel like you have a responsibility to, as a creator, to come out and say, you need to stop harassing these people. You need to like make a standalone video about it. You need to just addressing the Ethan Klein situation, which let me see if it, like, before I get disingenuous, right? Before I get like too bad, let's do a little research here. Let's do a little bit of let's look up Hasan's channel. Let's look up Hasan's channel and see if he has addressed the CPS thing. I got canceled. It's fucked. Happens too often. I am king. Trump. I'm apolitical now. What? No, he's not. He's like the most fucking far left person in the world. Nothing. Not a single video saying let's talk about the Ethan Klein situation. Not fucking one. This is how you know he's a disingenuous piece of shit. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Now let's look at Denims, right? Let's look at Denims' channel. Let's see if her channel's Denims. What the fuck happened to her channel, bro? She removed all of the videos on her channel. What the fuck? She's got one video on her. This is the real Denim's channel, right? Like, what the fuck? She got rid of her entire channel? Like, this has got to be her. No, this can't be her. This can't be her, dude. There's not enough subscribers, right? Denim's channel. It's, dude, why is there only one? That's it? Is this it? The whole channel is there's nothing. So this is it. I made this. Okay. So she deleted her entire channel. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, so that's how you know these people are fucking just, instead of, she kept the liar, she kept the liar Feld video, deleted everything else off of her channel that made her look bad, that made her look like a fucking monster, and is doubling down on just Ethan being wrong. That's how you know these people are fucking disgusting. Now let's go to Idubbbz channel, because these guys are obviously in hiding. Let's see Idubbbz. Let's go to his actual channel and see if he addresses Idubbbz TV. Let's go to Idubbbz TV.
What do you...
Let's see here. Creator Clash is back. Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Nothing. Nothing. His channel... God, his channel's just fucking sad, dude. He's got such a fucking sad channel. I mean, that you might be like, oh, well, your channel's not much better. I mean, yeah, dude, you're right. But I didn't make this fucking stupid bullshit. Any of this shit. This was like the weakest fucking half-assed, non-content cop. Like, if he would have made a content cop on some of these right-wing guys, that would have been funny, dude. Like, he doesn't put in the effort he used to put in. If he would have actually, like, gone in and just, like, morphed content cop into his new thing, but he's kind of pigeonholed himself. But, dude, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely no accountability. No accountability whatsoever. No, like... Nobody coming out and standing up for their friends just because you will like have like some ideological differences. You're not willing to put those aside to stand up for the fact that your friend is getting attacked by zealots in your audience. It's so fucking easy. It's so fucking easy. Look at this. Listen, guys. Don't harass him. If you're the type of person that's calling CPS, I don't want you in my audience. I don't want to see that rhetoric in my stream chat. I don't want to see any of that type of stuff. Ethan, I've met Ethan. He's not a bad guy. Like, why would the fuck have these guys worked with him time and time again if he was this bad of a guy, right? And it's only because now he's coming out and saying something. This is just ridiculous.
Podcast, which, by the way, not doing all that well in terms of viewership and the like to dislike ratio, and it turns out the additional context makes it even worse. And again, what I need to emphasize is that Ethan had been friends with Ian, the Idubbbz guy, for over a decade. He's been friends with the wife ever since he met her and was a girlfriend, which probably is around a decade, and Ian has decided that he's not going to back him up when the harassment on Ethan has gotten to the level where they're calling in fake child abuse complaints against him, launching investigations into Ethan and his family, very intrusive investigations that we talked about in a previous video.
And these are real people who have real feelings.
I think I want to pivot this into something that I don't think I didn't touch on it in my apology video many years ago. Was it many years ago? Was it 1 year ago?
A few.
Yeah. I think in that video there was I had a lot of feelings, and like I think the most obvious one and message that like made the most sense to people was me apologizing for slurs and just being generally insensitive.
Dude, I fucking hated when I did my first Idubbbz where it was that apology was so fucking fake, dude. It was so fucking fake. The whole thing was about how he's more virtuous, and then 2 fucking days later, it felt like, or like a week later, he makes a fucking like weak ass content cop. I'm not gonna attack creators anymore, and then a week later does exactly what I said he was gonna do, and fucking do a content cop on Froggy Fresh. It's just like he he's using virtue now to like show that he's better than everybody, and it's just so fucking pathetic. The I'm sorry, and then everybody was like defending, oh, you just want to go back to saying slurs. I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck. I just don't like this this backhanded bullshit that he's doing now compared to when he was actually in your face. That's the only difference. Now he's pretending like these are actual critiques, when before they weren't actual critiques. He was being mean. It's so fucking retarded.
To minority groups and people in general.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I maybe should have added to that, but I think it was kind of like implied if you're really like looking for it, is the harassment. I think harassment online is like, you know, we felt it. We felt plenty of it.
Yeah.
And you know, that's kind of why there's been a shift in my content, is because it's not healthy for people's brains, and it like doesn't get you anywhere. Like,
so this is probably one of the most disgusting portions of the entire segment. First and foremost, Anissa, Idubbbz' wife, the woman featured right here, posted on Instagram.com, which is referenced multiple times in the comments, that she doesn't owe Ethan anything. So she has taken a side. The side that she's taking is Cenk's nephew's side, that particular side. And the idea that you're going to say we don't endorse all harassment, like blanketly, when the situation is Ethan disagrees with Cenk's nephew politically. He makes a video based on the misstatements and the support of terrorist organizations, by the way, called the Content Nuke, and the response to that is for them to target his children, to launch a CPS investigation based on a phony abuse tip. And you're like, well, we don't support harassment on either side. No, one of these is greatly different.
Dude, it's so fucking dumb though, where they do the either side thing too, especially where it's like Hasan does this every single time he gets in a drama. He refuses to watch any of the videos about him that are made. He refuses to, like, if I were to have somebody come out and make a video about me, like make a takedown of me, I'm watching it on my channel. It's free content, baby. I am going to see it, and if there's some stuff that it's like actually calling me to the stage, and I'm like, wow, dude, I didn't even think about it that way. Maybe I'll get a new perspective from it, right? But I'm going to watch it. I'm going to engage with it because I think it'll be fun. It's good for content. Hasan won't even do that because he's so scared that somebody in his audience will see this type of stuff and they will realize that the person they're following is a brainlet idiot, right? And as much as I'm kind of sick of this Hasan thing, and I really want this to focus more on Idubbbz, I know that this is like the drama, and this will probably be the last time I touch it unless something else crazy jumps up. But it's just so weird to me how people will just like go and fully defend this guy and be so crazy in like the position of this crazy fucking weirdos. But then a dude's over here makes an actual breakdown of somebody who he used to be friends with, saying these are the things that he's doing that's disgusting and disingenuous, and I think that this needs to be called out. Having the spine to do that. I'm not the biggest Ethan Klein fan. I've said it a million times. I've said it in this video. But I do respect that he was willing to not just stay quiet. There are so many people that, because it's not like he did anything that was brand new. Ethan didn't do anything that Willie Mack Show hasn't done, Turkey Tom hasn't done, fucking Destiny, Crowder, Ben Shapiro. I'm sure all of them have had their own takedowns of Hasan. I'm pretty sure everyone has fucking talked about Hasan. But the one that really hit was Ethan because he was friends with him. And the fact that they were friends and he could show the clips from his podcast, say, this is the full context, don't let them lie to you, that this is fucking going on. And because of that, it's shaken up this little fucking social media circle jerk that they've had going. And it's fracturing this weird little fucking progressive protection space that they've been living under, and that's what scares them.
Scale to the other. One of these people you've known for a very long time, and while Idubbbz has spent maybe the last 5 years apologizing for ever being funny on the internet.com, Ethan has backed him every step of the way in public, and forcefully so. While people were attacking Idubbbz, saying that his wife Anissa ruined him, that she basically turned him into a weak, cowardly loser, Ethan backed her up as well. He said she was cool. He endorsed her. So Ethan has always had these people's backs, and by contrast, Cenk's nephew had shamed Idubbbz as an evil white racist and all sorts of other nonsense as a pipeline to the alt-right that was just never true in any way, shape, or form. But of course, because these people have embraced the woke, all forms of humanity, all forms of human connection.
Bro, I fucking hate when anybody says the woke. It's so stupid. It just sounds fucking stupid. It's washed. We need to get rid of it. Like, it has gotten too fucking annoying. We need to cut it out of vocabulary. It is cringe. It's like watching a bread tuber call everybody racist. It's just such a blanket fucking buzzword. I'm so annoyed with it.
Connection are done with because Ethan has left the cult. And again, what Ethan left the cult on, as I've emphasized multiple different times on this channel, was not that Ethan is pro-Israel and the cult is pro-Palestine. It's that Ethan, who 98% agrees with the pro-Palestinian position, was upset that his friend, Cenk's nephew, would not condemn calls for the murder of every single Jew in Israel. Now, Ethan's wife is Israeli. Ethan has in-laws that are in Israel. He lived in Israel for 5 years. So you can understand why he won't support people that refuse to condemn those who call for the death of all the people that are in his wife's family, all the people that he knows in Israel.
This is absolutely 100% correct. It's so nuts to me that people are acting like Ethan's like this far-right guy when he agrees with 90% of what everything they're saying. Just let's not support terrorism. Let's not tout for fucking murdering everybody. Let's find a better solution. Like that's all. Like Ethan's like pro-Palestine to like the almost the same degree. He just doesn't want like the like vitriol against the Jewish people that's going on right now. He doesn't like that everybody's being anti-Semitic with fucking protection. He doesn't like that we're supporting, or not we're, but they're supporting terrorism. Like this is like this is like common sense shit, dude. I don't understand how we're even in a weird place where, like, if I were Idubbbz, I would look at fucking Hasan, because it's logical, be like, you know, he's a little fucking crazy. I think Ethan might be right on this. I would have watched the content nuke because he's my friend, and he put out, like, a quality video. I'm like, oh, shit, Ethan and Hasan are having drama? What's going on with this? And then seeing all that shit, I'll be like, bro, maybe we should take a step. I mean, Hasan already was a dick to me. Why the fuck would I support this guy?
But again, that was enough for them to take it to such an extreme level that they harassed Ethan for a year, and now they're targeting his family. They're ending up attacking them through the use of child protective services, wasting government resources in order to do so. And in response, Idubbbz, this absolute weak coward who's been friends with Ethan for over a decade, who has had his back for over a decade, has decided to say, you know what, I condemn all the harassment on all sides, and we just want to stay out of it, and we'll reach out privately. And Ethan's a little bit upset because my wife said we don't owe him anything because we're taking the other side. We're just too cowardly to do so. But you know, it's just we don't want to stay in this drama content. I mean, when your kids are,
dude, it's so annoying because like this is exactly why Ethan has been out like backing up. Ethan and Idubbbz have been doing this fucking "we're better now" thing for so long and have had each other's dicks in hands for the longest time. And then once one gets in drama, oh well, we can't support him. Like, nah, fuck you, dude. Ian was in drama time and time again, and Ethan was there to back him up. I mean, he literally fucked up an entire fucking event for charity. He fucked it up so bad that he had to do like a please give me money stream so he could pay back the fucking charity. And Ethan still supported him, still fought for him. But you can't see that a fan base is attacking Ethan's kids and step in. You're a fucking pussy. You're a little bitch, bro.
Under investigation, and you're under investigation for abuse.
And one more thing, I know I'm pausing again. I don't like anybody who can't stand for anything. And that's what Idubbbz reminds me of, is he doesn't stand for anything. He will come out, make some blanket, boring statements where he thinks he will get some progressive brownie points, and then go back to being quiet. And everything he does is like, well, you can't make fun of Creator Crash 2 because it was for charity. Yeah, you can, dude. You fucked it up so royally that you had to do a fucking beg stream. You had a DSP. You had to do a DSP stream to remake the money you fucked up on. It's like the dude stands for nothing until a drama hits him, and then he tries to look more virtuous, and he throws a bunch of buzzwords at it, and then tries to move on. It's so pathetic. He's such a pathetic individual.
Over the fact that you took an actually reasonable position, that's just drama content when you leave the cult. And again, I shouldn't be surprised by this. I remember when Anna Kasparian took some very normal positions politically, and all these different various lefties came out of the woodwork in order to backstab her, in order to push themselves up. So we should not be surprised that Idubbbz is doing the same. And by the way, a bunch of different people in the comments, and if you watch this show, you're probably somebody who stuck with Idubbbz through all the different controversies that he's been through, are saying, we supported you this whole time, but this is a bridge too far, and it is a bridge too far. This is scumbaggery to the nth degree, but again, this is your brain on leftism. Ethan disagrees.
Well, I don't even think it's just leftism. I think it's just being a pussy. I think that they're afraid of Hasan's power. I think that they're afraid that by coming out against Hasan and how big he is, that they're going to attract ire from the Hasan fan base. And, like, to be honest, it is quite intimidating when you make a video on Hasan and you just get fucking berated, and they fucking, like, just won't shut up. They're annoying. They just keep showing up, and that's what a lot of these people are afraid of, because he's got this cult-like fan base. And I think that if you're gonna be out here and be a pussy about that shit, it's like, most of the stuff that I've critiqued Hasan on isn't about, like, I'm not here saying, oh, well, you can't be a leftist or whatever. I don't like extremism. And I'm not, like, I think it's funny. Like, one thing that happened last night, I said that the Sam Hyde clip was funny, where he was, like, doing the fucking Irish accent, and he was just all angry, and it was funny. It was funny. I'm sorry. Sam Hyde's first and foremost a comedian. Now, do I agree with everything Sam Hyde's ever said? No. I know he's a comedian first and foremost, and I know that some of his content kind of dips into that far right end zone, and I'm not really in love with all that, but he is funny from time to time, and he is a comedian first and foremost. And you go in, you hear him doing the goofy voice, you see what's going on, you're like, it's a bit. Hasan will say fucking crazy shit, get called out on. He's like, oh, well, did you not just get that it was a joke? When you can go and watch his shit and see the chat, and it's all like fucking snapping fingers and jerking off to what he's saying, but then once it's a drama, then it's a joke. And I hate that shit. I hate it so much, because it's not the same comparison. It's not the same issue, and it's the same type of shit that Nick Fuentes does, where he'll say something absolutely fucking abhorrent, but then all of a sudden, oh, Nick Fuentes is just joking around. No, he's not, dude. These guys are fucking not cool. They're not cool. They're extremist weirdos.
With a ridiculous pro-terrorist position put forward by Jank's nephew, and you think that's equivalent to these people gathering up in all these different online communities and targeting Ethan and putting up a fake Child Protective Services investigation in order to intrude on their lives and potentially get their kids taken away.
The last thing that they needed, and this is my attitude, like, full stop on this period. The last thing somebody who's going through something like that needs is more eyes on it and more, like, people weighing in, right? And, like, that's why I'm kind of angry that we even have to, like, talk about it here, is that, like, whether or not...
So this shit happens and you don't call it out? Denims makes a giant fucking thing downplaying it. She's gonna keep talking about it. You got Bad Empanada blatantly lying about the situation, where he's using the lawsuit that Ethan's going through with his housemaid that has nothing to do with his kids at all, but utilizing that to create a false narrative around the fact that his kids are, like, crawling through shit every 2 seconds, which isn't true, and all because he adopted a dog that had Giardia, where his kid never actually got Giardia. Never actually got it. But we're gonna craft narratives and use, like, other random bullshit to create a grander narrative that he's this bad fucking parent, where they're actually out there lying, and it's gotten to the point where their CPS is getting called on you, and you're not gonna call this shit out? Where we're just gonna protect them all because, well, it might be bad for the movement. Go fuck the movement, dog. fuck the movement. If you're willing to lie and be this disgusting because somebody has a light ideological difference with you, you're a fucking little pussy piece of shit. And these people fucking suck because of this. You're a bunch of fucking taint wagons, cum goblins, and I don't like you.
Not people who are in it right now realize it on any side. The more people who weigh in, the more people who add to the conversation, the more people who amplify it, the worse that it gets. We were in it, and at the time when we were in it and we wanted...
This is so calculated. This is so calculated. I do this from time to time. No, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I try to craft my language and stuff so that I'm not just coming out and being just super disingenuous from one side. I want to make sure that I hold account when I do a video like this. I want to hold accountable people like Nick Fuentes and your Nick Fuenteses, your Baked Alaskas. I want it to be known that I fucking hate those guys as well, because there's and your Destinies. It's like, oh yeah, Destiny will fucking lie and be a disgusting fuck for his side. Plain and simple. Most of these political guys are that way. And that's my point, is I try to be calculated to an extent, but she's trying to be so calculated because she doesn't want to offend the Hasan fan base. When this isn't about politics anymore. This has gone past the zone of politics. We are no longer talking about politics anymore. We are talking about people's livelihoods. We're talking about internet drama now becoming so bad, so fucking disingenuous that it is now like affecting this man's kids. Your guys' fucking friends' kids. That's what we're talking about here. This isn't about like, oh, sides and political ideology. No, this is fucking, oh, he disagreed with him. He showed Hasan's craziness on a thing, and now you have Hasan's orbiters literally going after this dude's kids, which is fucking gross.
Referring to us kind of going through a hard time on the internet, being harassed, videos made about us, people weighing in.
People still make...
And yo, who the fuck was there for you, buddy? You talked about it everywhere. You two fucking dipshits literally to like a few months ago you were calling out the commentary community. You were complaining that people were racist coming up to you saying the N-word. You were complaining about harassment every fucking little chance you get. This is the pot calling the kettle fucking black. You fucking cum goblins are ridiculous. You fucking AIDS dragon tsunami monsters.
Videos about us. And at the time, before like we got help, before we went to therapy, like, yes, there was this attitude of like, why the fuck aren't people saying things?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck is no one like saying how wrong this is?
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course we had anger about that, but like,
you did. You came out and like were fucking blasting everybody. You guys were very angry for a very long time. And you know who had your back throughout that entire arc? Ethan fucking Klein. You fucking pathetic. These guys are like the worst. The worst. They're the type of people that would sell their own friends up the river just for brownie points on the internet, which I think we're getting to a point where we're starting to see this shit. I mean, it was already, I think everybody already knows how fucking pathetic like Idubbbz and Anissa are, but it's just like to show that even the people that were friends with them, you can't be friends with these type of people now. You know for a fact you don't want to be friends with them because at any moment they're going to send you up the river because you might do one thing that might upset them.
We had to, now that we've gone to therapy and we've worked through all these things, like, one, the videos have not stopped,
Mm-hmm.
right? The comments about us have not stopped. What has stopped is me caring about it,
Mm-hmm.
me looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get the help and you realize that this is like something that you cannot control at all and it doesn't have to affect your life, that's the only way it gets better.
Yeah.
Things piling on, things adding to it,
Mm-hmm.
people weighing in, people throwing punches for you, does not help.
I mean, again, what is this weak nonsense?
Dude, I love that they're bringing it up too. I love that they're bringing up their problems and their harassment that they've dealt with. And oh, we just gotta, like, now we know that we can just look away from it. It's so, this is all you have to do, right? This is all you have to do. Like, I'll take the example I used earlier with Sam Hyde. You know, I thought the Sam Hyde Hasan clip is hilarious, but all of the fucking crazy far right shit that Sam Hyde says, I disavow that. Whoa, dude. Whoa, fucking. Whoa, dude. It's so hard. You can take people that, even if you're a fan of them, you could take the stance that, well, you know, I like Denims. I think Denims is pretty hot, but and I like most of the things she says. But the fact that she's downplayed and kind of condoned the harassment of Ethan Klein's children, I think is fucking disgusting. Wow, dude. You can have a nuanced fucking opinion. This fucking, like, ideologically captured by an audience and a creator thing, this parasocial behavior, is fucking pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. Oh, well, you're worried about this crazy. They're worried about this crazy. They saw the harassment that happened to Ethan Klein. Know that they've been attached to Ethan Klein at the hip for so long that they're scared they're going to get lumped into it, which is already probably happening to a bit. People were waiting for them to probably say something in their little weird niche of the woods. We're scared that they were going to lose some fan base because of it. So they fence rode. She spread her pussy lips and grabbed the top of that fence as hard as she fucking can. And Idubbbz spread his butthole and grabbed the fence as hard as he could, and they are locked the fuck in, and they don't want to take sides. And by not taking sides, not that saying that they're not taking sides, their language here, pretending to not take sides, is literally against them. Everything is sounding like, well, Ethan just needs to stop taking this shit serious. How the fuck can he stop taking it serious when they're like, they have CPS showing up at it? This isn't people criticizing Anissa, like, where, oh, Anissa, you ruined Idubbbz. This isn't that shit. This isn't that same bullshit where Idubbbz is getting made fun of because he's married to an OnlyFans girl. This isn't that same shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, dog.
Your friend, somebody you've known for 10 years, somebody that I don't know, somebody that I'm not even a fan of, Ethan Klein, is being harassed by this rabid mob who are going in and trying to intrude on his personal life. They're calling in threats, they're calling in fake abuse claims to CPS, and you're talking about how, oh, I remember when I was getting harassed for stuff related to minority groups and yada yada yada. Shut up, Idubbbz. Honestly, shut the hell up. You faced some online commentary. You faced some people who didn't like that you were actually funny at one point in time, and now you're comparing that and saying, oh, that's basically the equivalent of the harassment that Ethan's getting, which is in the real world. It's real world harassment. It targets him, it targets his wife, it targets his 3 children, age 5 and under, and that's like the same thing. And I don't feel like Ethan, who definitely did publicly have my back, had my wife's back that whole entire time, had my back enough when I really think about it. I don't think Ethan was a good enough friend to me, so I'm going to take this opportunity to backstab him, and then I'm going to act virtuous about it, while at the same time, I'm going to say that Ethan Klein is mentally ill, which, by the way, that's what they suggest. They suggest Ethan, who is under investigation by Child Protective Services, go to therapy in order to deal with what is going on internally, because the problem is Ethan.
Things are complicated.
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends when I did my apology that did not with it in the slightest.
Yeah, they didn't agree.
And they still don't with it.
Yeah.
They
And that's
don't agree
fine.
with it, and you know, I don't really expect them to come to bat for me or anything.
This is such a fucking bullshit argument. I'm sorry, dude. This is so bullshit. This is not you. This is not having a different disagreement in opinions on you. Like, where people, like, actually would get mad at the people who didn't agree with Idubbbz at the time. They're like, oh, you just want Idubbbz to be racist again. It's like, no, I just think his apology seems bullshit. This is the same YouTuber apology we've seen a million times before, but because Idubbbz is apologizing in one part about him saying the N-word 87 cajillion times, oh, well, that makes everything else okay. Like, it makes his shitty apology okay. That's not the same thing as this guy's kids and family are getting attacked. It's not even close to the fucking same thing. And he's playing it down. He's playing it down like, oh, well, not... But you know who was there? Idubbbz? Ethan. Ethan was there. Ethan was there to protect you all those times. Ethan was willing to make sure that you were always had a spot on his show. Like, you took the one guy that was always in your corner, and now you're saying, like, you're lumping him in with these other guys. Well, were I mad at them? Yeah, you were probably mad at them, and you're probably still annoyed that they didn't have your back, bro. Like, you're pathetic. You're a pathetic little fucking clown.
Yeah.
If they don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And
What's there to agree with, though? What's there to fucking agree with CPS getting a call on his kids over a fucking ideological difference?
I don't expect them to speak up, period, on any of it.
I appreciate that they don't.
Yes.
Oh my
because
god.
it just makes things more complicated.
Oh, I appreciate when they don't. You guys have talked about how, oh my god, no, this is just bad. This is bad.
It's like, I can get
they're trying to be fence sitters, but actually, while at the same time defending the fact that they're being fence sitters, while trying to make Ethan look like an asshole for thinking that they might come out of their side. This is disgusting.
Read from you with like what you say or don't say.
And all this is doing is downplaying what happened to him. This is downplaying what happened to him to drama on the internet and not CPS being called on his kids.
You know, that might change private relationships, sure, but that's life. Like, that's life. You know what I mean? Like, people go their separate ways all the time. Again, like, the worst thing you can do is feed into it.
It's not only not having the tools, like, emotionally, psychologically, but it's also having the support system.
Yes.
Friends, family, therapy, like we mentioned.
You were the friends, dude. You were part of the support system. Like, in the content world, who has been your support system? Ethan Klein. Like, this is so fucking pathetic, dude.
Like, that's something that you can get, and it does a lot. It's powerful.
Predictable schedule, hobbies. All these things.
Yeah, that's great.
Again, I should not be surprised. Friends of Anna Kasparian for years ended up backstabbing her at the earliest convenience over minor petty political differences. So to me, it makes perfect sense that these people would do this logically, because it's so illogical, but they're in a cult, so this is under the cult logic. But it's still absolutely disgusting and repugnant and repulsive, because I would never backstab somebody like this. And again, I would never want to support the people who are doing this to one of my worst enemies on the internet. I understand that there are greater things than internet politics, and attacking somebody's family, targeting somebody's children should be at that level. And the thing is, the people who are doing this to Ethan, they're not even repentant about it. They're not even sorry that it got to this point. Again, I played this clip in my other video of Idubbbz when she was confronted with the idea that Ethan and Hila feel like this would be traumatic for their children, because being in
I mean, I've already seen the Idubbbz thing. I've already seen the Idubbbz thing. We've already covered the Idubbbz thing. He's gonna play it. Does it ever go back to Idubbbz? No, it's just him talking. We're gonna see if H3 said anything. We're gonna see if H3. We're gonna see if he said anything. 7 days ago. Over a Hasan tweet. Dude, I mean, look at this. They've been friends for so fucking long, dude. So fucking long, dude. And, like, this is 4 days ago. Have they covered it? That's Sam Hyde. I don't want to watch Sam Hyde's opinion on all this shit. I don't care about Sam Hyde's opinion. Dude, it's just, like, look at... Like, shooting with the Idubbbz 6 years ago. They've been friends for so long. So fucking long. Longer than Hasan's been famous. Here we go.
Like, that Hila's a Nazi.
Here we go.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on, like... She's like a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on us Nisa's and Idubbbz feed. My good fucking friends who I stood by after all these fucking years can't find a spine to speak up. You know why? Because they'll get murdered for saying one goddamn fucking thing in our defense. Like, actually, Hila's not a baby killer. Actually,
yeah. Do you see? This is where it comes off. Where like, I'm sorry, but like Hasan's not worth protecting. It's not worth protecting. I don't care how. The fact of the matter is that if I were Idubbbz and this was my friend going through some shit, I would literally be like, yeah, I've seen the Idubbbz. I would make a video addressing Ethan Klein, or I would talk to Ethan Klein in the background and be like, listen, dude, I think we should collab and we should talk about this. Have me on the podcast. We'll talk about it. I want to have a little pushback. I think it would be good, and they could have done that. This would have like blown this whole thing over. I don't know.
Accusing Ethan of killing his dog is maybe too far, because they have mobilized such an insane harassment group that anybody who says any fucking thing, they will attempt to ruin their lives. And once again, I'm the crazy one.
Dude, and I love it. So I started seeing this in some of my other videos I posted about this, like, where, like, somebody kind of, like, justified the fact that because he's sniffing all the time, that means that he's sick all the time. He's got fucking Tourette's, dog. That's why he's so fucking, for me, so hard to watch. Now, I know that comes off as, like, ableist or whatever. I don't really give a fuck. I think that type of, like, logic and wording is super gay and annoying. But it can be kind of hard to watch Ethan for me, and it always has been. I've thought he was funny in the past, and I think that he's kind of like been kind of cringe for a long time. And even this dude is coming off kind of wild. But the same thing, he's had Tourette's. He's got these tics. The more worked up he gets, the worse they get, because that's everyone with fucking Tourette's. And the fact that I've had comments on my videos about this whole drama with the kids thing, where it's like, well, then why is he sniffing the air and shit? It's like, dude, what does that even fucking mean, bro? What does that even fucking mean? You're utilizing the fact that he has fucking Tourette's and he sniffs and he fucking has these weird clicks and glicks all the time as a reason that CPS should be called. Get the fuck out of here, dog. You guys are disgusting.
It's not bad enough that I have this group of people harassing me and everyone in my life. It's that people outside of this group, journalists, creators, are actively participating in this gaslighting to make it seem like I'm fucking crazy. Like, dude, I probably done and stood by Idubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them because I love those guys. I vouched for their character, and I stood by them 100%. And listen, I'm not saying that they're not the good, nice, fine people that I thought they were, but I'll say this: I don't think they're fucking any friends of mine. That's what I'll say at this moment. And certainly, I don't think they're any fucking friends of mine based on the text conversation I had with them too before I even talked about it. So I have nothing. I don't need any fucking
this is what I'm saying. Like, we see this shit blowing up on, like, live. By the time we've seen it, there's already been conversations. There's already been shit going down. And the fact that you reach out to your friend and they're like, listen, it probably went along the line, you should stop going after Hasan. And it's like, but his fan base attacked me for years. I literally was getting pulled off on the side of the street, being called, my wife being called a baby killer, and I'm just supposed to pretend that this is okay? I'm just supposed to say that this is all fine while Hasan laughs at, like, children dying? Like, what are we doing here? Like, and then to, like, sit in the background and be like, oh, well, we don't want to take your side on this. And it's like, you don't have to 100% take a side on all of his rhetoric. All you have to do is come out and condemn the way they've been treating him for years. Where the fuck were you guys in the last, like, fucking couple years where he was getting obliterated because he cut ties with Hasan? It's fucking ridiculous. All because he's not in the kill all of Israel position of the ideology, which no one should be on that side. No one should be on kill an entire group of people side. That's what I think. I don't think you should, like, condone, be like, oh, well, because these guys have had a rough, we should genocide all of these people. And they should just leave. Where the fuck are they supposed to go? Like, it's their country. Like, most of these people born and raised in that place. What the fuck are they supposed to do? Now, do I agree with how Israel's handled a lot of this shit? I don't fucking know. I'm an internet drama guy. But I do know that, like, laughing at kids dying just because they're not on the side you like is gross. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I don't like the death on either side. I think if I was gonna stand up here and like, ha 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 ha, look those Palestinians got it, that's not the correct take. Especially when you're a political commentator. Oh, well, I'm just gonna celebrate these people dying. Nah, fuck you.
Halfway friends, man. That's not what I need.
And the last thing I want to say is, even over the ideological differences, which I don't give a fuck about at this point, The harassment is the most important part. Like, how fucking much they've harassed this guy to the point of calling CPS, and you're still not willing to come out and say, like, that's too far. There's a line in the sand, they fucking crossed it, and you're still playing a fence ride, or you're still fence riding? Get the fuck out of here. You guys are gross.
Do you not say something when this is like, imagine like one of you guys is like, Hasan actually wants to go to Gaza so he can strangle Israeli babies. Or some shit like that. I'd be like, you imagine me not saying something.
Yeah. I mean, that's just...
I saw Invincible was having some...
Yeah, like, that's just... It's just... Oh, God. Is that how my audio sounds?
Some drama was going about.
You'll know that everyone's biggest issue...
Dude, it's so quiet, bro. It's so quiet. I need to turn this shit up. I need to turn that shit up. My problem is I'm really loud, so I'm always pushing my mic levels to way too loud, and I'm trying to get better to where I'm not pushing the levels as far as I should, so I'm trying to get better with it, but yeah, sometimes it comes off real quiet. But yeah, that's the Idubbbz drama. I mean, my thing about it is, like, through every controversy, at thick and thin, Ethan has been there, and now that Ethan's going through, like, way worse shit than they ever went through. Plain and simple, this is worse than anything they've gone through. They can't take a side. That's disgusting to me. And I don't think there needs to be more said about it. I don't think there needs to be anything else said about it because it's just, I think it's blatantly obvious what's going on. I think it's so simple to say, this is too far. This is actual crazy harassment. I mean, I thought that the internet kind of banded together to say that swatting and shit was bad. Like, we all said that anybody who's, like, condones swatting, and if you have, like, people in your audience that are that mad and you could, like, point it out that happened from your audience, you should come out and say something about it. If we can have that opinion, why the fuck can't we, rally behind Ethan on this? I don't even like Ethan that much, but I'm defending him constantly in this because I think it's just so common sense. All this whole situation has been common sense W's for Ethan. It's just so simplistic. It's so simplistic. And it's crazy because if you would have talked to me like 2 years ago, I would have said that I was like, the way Ethan's going, I don't think there'll ever be a point where I think that I'm going to agree with him. And it's crazy now that I'm sitting here defending this guy on a pretty consistent basis just because it's just so common sense and it's proving everything that he said about Hasan's and the Hasan Arbiter's audiences correct on everyday basis. I remember when he was like, well, you need to moderate your chat better. I'm like, dude. And, like, I'm getting a lot of harassment. I'm like, grow up. Just turn your computer off. You know, like, I don't care about chat moderation. I don't care about any of that. And I thought Ethan was kind of being a little bitch about the whole thing. I thought he was being a little bit of a bitch. I didn't like Hasan, but I thought he was being a little bit of a bitch. And now it's gotten to this point, and this is the point where you have to say something. I think, like, okay, you don't have to. I'm not saying that yeah, he has to or he's, like, awful. But, like, morally, you should. Morally, this is the line. This is the line that your audience crossed. The fucking Hasan Glazers, the Denims Glazers, you guys have all had your audiences cross the line that is too far. You guys consistently support Bad Empanada, who is willing to put out dangerous misinformation about Ethan in order to prove narratives so that you guys look good. And you need to come out and say, listen, this is all wrong. We have taken this in a bad direction. It needs to go back to the ideology. It needs to go back on terms of like where we're talking from these positions. It needs to go back to internet stuff because we're taking it to personal lives and that's going too far. I'm sorry, dude. This has gotten gross. But that's all I got on that one, guys. Like and subscribe, and hopefully I won't have to cover this shit anymore because I'm kind of sick of it. But yeah, that's it.